All right, MLN fans, it's time for Game 3. We are out on the West Coast in Los Angeles in front of 43,000 fans, 8:05 LA time, which makes it 11 p.m. East Coast time for our fans in New York and Philadelphia, all two of them, and 9:57 actual real life time. Anyway, we are all set for Game 3 here. It's a 1-1 series. It's going to be Alexis Rodriguez on the mound for the visiting St. Joseph Sausage Dogs. Rodriguez has struggled in this postseason. In the previous series against New York, he pitched poorly, to say the least, in a Game 2 loss, and then escaped without a decision. They ended up winning the game ultimately in Game 6, but did not pitch particularly well in that game either. ERA for these playoffs is almost 7. He's not been the solution they were looking for, but he's what they have. And we'll see if he can snap out of it here against Los Angeles on the road here in the World Series. World Series debut for Alexis Rodriguez. On the other side, Jason McKee. The pitcher McKee has pitched really well in these playoffs. 20-year-old kid. He got no decision, terrible no decision, because of a blown save by Mike Weedling in Game 2 of the Cooperstown series. Pitched really, really well. 2 hits, 2 runs allowed in that game, but Weedling came in and gave up a big RBI double to Vic Rodriguez, and it was all downhill from there. Came back, bounced back from it though, scattered 8 hits in Game 6, clinching the series clincher. Uh, Only allowed 1 run in that game, struck out 7, really was in control the whole time, and they're looking for more of the same from him here in Los Angeles. So let's go down to the field here in the Dragon's Lair and see what happens in Game 3. All right, as usual, working our way around the infield, we've got Zhu behind the plate, Matt George at third, Zachary Johnstone at shortstop, Felipe Lara over at second, and Carlito Genes, the first baseman. Collier, Coriano, and Mendoza in the outfield for the Dragons. And up to bat here is Christensen leading off, as he does against lefties, followed by Vargas, and then Jesus the Jesus Meza, who has just an insane World Series going, 7 RBI and 2 home runs in the first 2 games. All right, here goes nothing. No rain, the wind blowing in from left, and the full count to start the game for McKee against Christensen. And Christensen checks his swing and walks for the 13th time in these playoffs. Unreal, this guy's patience at the plate. Makes the pitcher work every single at bat. And here he is, leading off the game, reaching base one more time. And it's Oliver Vargas now. Vargas takes a 3-1 pitch and hits it the other way. Ooh, tough play. Lara's not able to make the play to the shortstop for the double play, and instead has to just take the fielder's choice at first. But that moves Christensen over into scoring position for Meza, who knows exactly what to do in that situation. He had a grand slam in Game 1, and then came back and hit a 3-run bomb in Game 2. And here, the 0-1 pitch, and he likes that one. That's going to be another RBI in this series. Knocks it down the line for a double, slides in ahead of the throw, wasn't really close, and an RBI double makes it 1-0 St. Joseph to start the game off. All right, here's Ferdinando Barber batting cleanup, the shortstop. 1-2 pitch to Barber. That's hit hard on the ground, but right at the shortstop Johnstone, and that is another one down, 2 down in the inning. And David Perez to the plate, 12 for 33 in these playoffs. And Perez rips one in base hit into left, and it looks like that's going to not score Meza. Oh my. The third base coach sends Meza on that, and Collier makes a laser beam of a throw, guns him down pretty easily, and that will do it. They leave a runner on as Meza's thrown out at the plate, and that got the Dragons fans up and cheering. Way to get out of the inning with a little drama. And here we are in the bottom half, the home half of the first. It's going to be Wei Kangju, followed by Coriano and Chenis, to face Alexis Rodriguez. He's got Gus Tynes behind the plate, as he has been in every game this postseason. Meza over at third, Ferdinando Barber at short, David Perez at second, and Oliver Vargas playing first. Cerezo, Carrillo, and Christensen in the outfield. And here goes nothing. A full count to start the game for Rodriguez as well. And Zhu puts it in play, but it's easily fielded by the pitcher, and that is one down. So here's Coriano. Coriano, 5 for 34 in the playoffs. Not what they expected out of him. Looking for something a little better, and not going to get it here. Easy ground ball. Oh, goodness. Don't listen to me. He runs that out for an infield hit. Barber comes in and makes the play, but isn't able to get a throw off. Little trouble picking it out of the grass. They call it a base hit and not an error, and that puts a runner at first with one down for Carlito Genes. Ooh, another wild pitch. We've seen a lot of those this postseason. Gets past Tynes, and Coriano is into second standing up. So now runner in scoring position for Genes. With a full count, he walked him. Dead center, but a little bit low. Rodriguez shaking his head. Got to get past that. The ump called it. That's the game. And here is Matt George now, the third baseman. 2-1 pitch to George. Hard hit double play grounder right at the third baseman, Mesa. And they turn two. So, one runner on base, one base runner in the inning. I'm sorry, two base runners in the inning, one base hit. No runs come across, and St. Joe still leads 1-0, and they're going to send Miller, Cerezo, and Tynes to the plate here in this inning against Jason McKee. The first pitch Miller sees he likes, and just enough to pop out to Collier. So, one down, and Orlando Cerezo to the plate. Takes a 1-2 count, and that looks like a base hit. No, yes. So hard to tell here. Gets down in front of the center fielder for a single, and Cerezo with excellent speed over at first for Gus Tynes. One down, runner at first. Tynes gets a 1-1 breaking ball and pops it up to the right side of the infield. No threat there, two down. Now for Atilio Carrillo, who, well, we just don't expect that much from, put it that way. The 1-0, and he flies out to Mendoza in right, and that'll do it. So, bottom half of the second, the Dragons come to the plate trailing by one with Johnstown, Cantu, and Mendoza. The 0-2 to Johnstone. Struck him out. Zachary Johnstone started the playoffs out really hot for the Dragons, has cooled off considerably. I'd like to see him get back on the horse a little bit, so to speak. And here is David Cantu, the DH. 2 for 12 with a home run in the postseason. He hits that one on a line, but right at Perez. Picks it up on one hop, makes the throw, and that's two down. Now, Moises Mendoza, 11 for 31. Been one of the bright spots in this lineup. The 1-2 pitch to Mendoza. Oh, hard hit ball. Is that going to get out? No. That wind blowing in and left is just enough for push it back into Cerezo on the warning track, and that is the inning for the Dragons. All right, after two, it's a 1-0 game, and here is the top of the order, Christensen, Vargas, and the Jesus to face Jason McKee. Christensen walked to open the game. Grounds out this time to Lara, and here is Oliver Vargas. Vargas 0 for 1. He grounded out the last time up. Like instant replay. Same pitch, same swing, and he grounds out to Lara for the second time in the game. And here's Jesus Meza, who had the RBI double in the first to give them the lead. The 1-2 pitch to Mesa, and that one will be fielded by Johnstone. No problem. So, 3 up, 3 down in the St. Joe half of the third. And here is Lara, followed by Collier and Zhu. Lara dribbles one back to the pitcher Rodriguez, makes the play. That is another one down. It's Collier now. Collier, one of the best hitters on this team through this entire postseason. MVP of the championship series, 11 for 31. He bats last against lefties. He's not as good against left-handed pitching, but he has been so dialed in. See if he can make something happen anyway. Not this time. Hits it the other way to Barber, and he is out. All right. 2 down for the top of the order. That's the catcher, Zhu. 3-1 pitch, and belts that one to right, but Christensen covers a lot of ground out there, and he's got under it without too much trouble. Side is retired, and we're back to the Sausage Dogs. It's Ferdinando Barber, David Perez, and Paul Miller in the inning. 2-0 to Barber. Grounds out to Johnstone. That is 1 down. David Perez takes a 3-0 count. 4-pitch walk. That's rough. Second walk for McKee. Hasn't struck anybody out yet. And now here's Miller with Perez at first. And that looks like a base hit. See if Perez tries for third. He does not. Does not challenge Coriano, although he doesn't have much of an arm. It wasn't a real... Didn't have a lot of space there. So you got Perez at second, Paul Miller at first, and Orlando Cerezo at the plate. Full count to Cerezo. Oh my goodness, McKee walks him as well. Continues to struggle, Jason McKee, in this game. It is 3 walks now and 3 1/3, and he's got the bases loaded with just 1 out for Gus Tynes. Strikes out Gus Tynes swinging. Good moment to get your first strikeout going, and here is Atilio Carrillo, the worst hitter in this lineup by a long stretch. Oh my goodness, that's going to be a run on a wild pitch. Jesus Christ, McKee. Carrillo doesn't have to do anything if you're just going to throw the ball into the backstop. And, all right, the run comes across to make it 2-0. And now you've got runners at second and third, both with good speed for Carrillo. Really, any base hit here could probably score 2 more runs. And it's a 3-1 count to Carrillo. Make it 3-2. And he got under it too much. The center fielder, Coriano, makes the play, and that will do it. But they sneak in a run on the wild pitch, and that makes it a 2-0 game. All right. Coriano, Zenes, and George to bat for the Dragons here. Alexis Rodriguez getting a little more comfortable with that lead. And he walks Coriano to start the inning on a 3-2 count. He's thrown 43 pitches already. And another walk. Coriano into second as he puts Zenes at first with the free pass, and now it is Matt George, the big third baseman, with runners at first and second. Oh, another missed opportunity as George pops out on the infield to Vargas, and that is 1 down. Now here's Johnstone. It's 2-2 count. That is going to drop for a base hit. Runners will not advance the extra base, so now it's bases juiced for David Cantu, the DH, with 1 down. Rodriguez looking a little uncomfortable out there now. And that is, oh goodness. The 0-1 pitch is a wild pitch for ball 1, but Tynes is able to knock it down and keep it in front of him, prevent a run. All right. The 1-1 to Cantu, and that is ripped. Absolutely ripped on a line into the gap in right center. Scores 2 runs on the play, and that's a tie game, folks. Just like that, one swing of the bat, the game is tied up, and here's Moises Mendoza, who's been on fire with runners at first and second and only 1 out. Mendoza pops it up to center. Carrillo makes a play, and there's no running on Atilio Carrillo. And that makes it 2 down for Felipe Lara with the runners at first and second. And he strikes out Lara to end the inning. Nice pitch for his second strikeout, but man, too little too late. Allows 2 runs, largely self-inflicted because of the walks. They strand 2, but they score 2, and that is 2 runs on 3 hits for the Dragons against 2 runs on 4 hits for the Sausage Dogs, and it's a tie game. So here's McKee. Got in a little trouble last inning, and he's got the top of this order, dangerous order up again. It's Christensen, Vargas, and Mesa. 2-2 to Christensen, who's grounded out here to George. Little one hopper to the third baseman, and Oliver Vargas 0 for 2 in the game. The 0-1, Vargas will also ground out to George, and that's 2 down. And here is Jesus, the Jesus Mesa, 1 for 2 with a double and an RBI. And that's going to get through for another base hit. Mesa reaches with the single going the other way, and that's Barber now. 2-2 pitch with 2 down and the runner at first. Barber dribbles one out just in front of the catcher. Zhu comes out to make the play, throws him out at first. They strand a runner, and the game is still tied at 2. Home team to bat in the bottom half of the 5th. It's Collier, followed by Zhu and Coriano. First pitch to Collier hits him in the leg. Not sure what transpired there between Rodriguez and Collier. He's been a little wild. He may have just done that on accident, which is even dumber. And here is Weikong Zhu. Zhu tries to lay down a bunt, goes foul. Now 2 strikes, he's going to have to swing free. And another wild pitch. Collier all the way into second base now, mostly based on the fact that Rodriguez can't hit the catcher with the ball. And the 1-2, and Zhang not going to make him pay. It's a fly out to right. Christensen has a good arm, but Collier decides to challenge, and he makes it into third. The cutoff man holds the ball, and now you've got a runner at third base with Coriano at the plate. Tying run at, or go-ahead run at third. Coriano 1 for 1 today. And he walked him. The 4th walk out of Rodriguez. Coriano to first, and here is Jeniz. Double play situation set up. Another wild pitch. That's another wild pitch. Tynes is able to keep it down in front of him. The runners don't move, but my goodness, Alexis Rodriguez could use a visit to the mound. It looks like Ben Vincent, the manager, went to the bathroom and has not returned. And that's an error. Barber misplays the hard hit ball to short, allows a run on the error, and a runner into second for Coriano. We hadn't mentioned it in a couple of games, but this St. Joseph infield should be good. Have not been good defensively in either playoff series, and it bites them in the ass again. Now Rodriguez pitching, still with only 1 out, runners at first and second, to Matt George, one of the best hitters in the league, because they can't make simple plays. That should have been a double play. Instead, it's a run-scoring runner on first, and they walk George to load the bases, and that's it for Rodriguez. He throws his glove on his way into the dugout. He's pissed. He should be. He sucks. And here is Rick Hazelton. Hazelton, 28 years old, throws just 2 pitches, a fastball and a slider, but he throws them both extremely well. He last pitched against New York, gave up 2 hits and 2 walks in 3 innings, but did not allow a run. See if he can stop the bleeding here in this bottom of the 5th against Los Angeles. Bases loaded for Johnstown. 2-1 pitch. He fires, and that is down for a base hit. Going to score at least 1, probably 2. Yep, he beats the throw home. Johnstone with the 2-run single, and the home Dragons have taken a 5-2 lead with 3 runs in the bottom of the 5th. And here is David Cantu, the DH, with runners at first and second and just 1 out. Full count. Hazelton gives up another single, and Matt George is going to come around, chugging his way around the base paths to score from second base. Get that man a cigarette. He's going to need it. He is exhausted, but Johnstone and Cantu now, first and second, still 1 out from Moises Mendoza, 0 for 2 in the game. The 1-1 pitch to Mendoza is slugged into center, will not drop. Good play by Carrillo, and that's 2 down. Now here's Felipe Lara. The 2-2 to Lara, and he struck him out again. Lara strikes out for the second time. They strand 2 runners, but they did a good bit of damage in that inning. 4 runs across. And the most notable thing there, the bad error by Fernando Barber at short. Could have gotten out of the inning with a double play, and instead sacrifices a run because of poor fielding. So it's Perez, Miller, and Cerezo. to face Jason McKee, who has also not been great, but now has a little bit of breathing room with the 4-run lead. The 2-2 to Perez, and Johnstone goes deep in the hole, makes the play. Nicely fielded by Zachary Johnstone, and that is one down. Here's Miller. He also goes 2-2. McKee deals, and he hits that one deep and hard. And Collier makes a diving grab at the warning track. My goodness, Bobby Collier is just doing everything he can for Los Angeles in this series. That was great. And that will do it for McKee. Here is Angel Griego, Angel Griego. He has pitched a ton in these playoffs, 3 times against Cooperstown, 4 1/3, only allowed 1 hit and 1 run there on a home run. And pitched against St. Joseph a couple days ago, pitched a full inning, allowed a run and a hit. So can be trouble if they get him in a jam, but here with 2 down, the 3-1 pitch, nothing doing. Easy ground out to the first baseman, and that'll do it for the top half of the 6th. Bottom 6 now, Hazelton remains on the mound. It's Collier, Zhu, and Coriano. And you flip the script here with Collier now facing a right-handed pitcher instead of a lefty. Yes, he bats 9th against lefties. He bats leadoff against righties and can really do some damage here. First pitch he sees. See, just like I said, he pops out gently to the first baseman. And that's 1 down. Wei Kong Zhu works the count full, and he walks. Good patient at bat again from Zhu, and he's on base for Coriano. Coriano 1 for 1 on the day. Also drew a walk earlier. This time he strikes out. Hazelton gets him swinging, and it's Carlito Genes now. 2 down and a runner at first. Last chance for the inning. And he's going to ground that right back to the pitcher for out number 3. All right, we head to the bottom of the 6th, and it's Gus Tynes, Atilio Carrillo, and Bill Christensen to face Angel Griego. And Tynes starts it off with a line shot single out to right field, bounces in front of Mendoza, and that is the leadoff runner on against Griego here. Here's Atilio Carrillo. Best you can hope for here is a bunt maybe to move the runner over, but Gus Tynes runs like a wounded wildebeest. Not sure that's going to be the play. It is not, but and why not? And why not? Atilio Carrillo hits a 402-foot fucking bomb. Out of nowhere, this guy batting in the mid-100s steps in, Griego throws him a meatball, and Carrillo just absolutely drills it. He saved up all of his strength for that one at-bat, apparently. And that makes it a 6-4 ball game. Cuts the lead to 2, and here is Christensen in the top of the order now with nobody out, feeling a little bit energized. Rio goes the 1-2 to Christensen, who will ground out to the second baseman, Lara. And here is Oliver Vargas. Vargas 0 for 3. But he walked him. Griego puts him on first, and there he goes. Griego is out, and it's Esteban Soto. Soto has been fairly effective, other than a blown save against Cooperstown, a situation where he walked 3. Against St. Joseph, though, he pitched 2 innings and only allowed 1 hit and struck out 3 earlier in this series. So that's what they're looking for here. Let's get this inning to bed, get to the 7th inning stretch, and keep moving. Here is Jesus the Jesus Meza, who has been absolutely on fire. 8 RBI in this series, and another opportunity here. Oh, that was a robbery. Zenes makes a hell of a play along the first baseline there. They can't turn 2, but he makes a hell of a play to get to the ball at all and get the lead runner down. So Meza now at first for Ferdinando Barber. Barber basically at fault for the Dragons trailing in this, the Dragons lead in this game, as well as global warming and the war in Ukraine. And here is Victor Pena out of the pen. Pena has not pitched in the World Series yet. Pitched 1 2/3 in the Championship Series. Gave up a bunch of hits and a bunch of runs Yeah, I guess we'll see what happens. They bring him in to face Matt George, Zachary Johnstone, and David Cantu, the heart of the Dragons order. Oh, I forgot the seventh inning stretch performed by MC Hammer this evening. Hope that was enjoyable. And there's a leadoff single. Leadoff single by Matt George to start the bottom of the seventh. And here is Johnstone now. Takes 2-2 pitch, and he struck him out. Not a good game for Zachary Johnstone today. And here is David Cantu, 2 for 3, and he also strikes out. Apparently they made Victor Pena mad with that leadoff single. And here's Moises Mendoza bouncing one through. Man, that looked playable. Are they going to call that an error? No, it's a single. David Perez gets the all-star deferment there. They don't charge him an error on that absolutely misplayed ball. And that puts runners at first and second for Felipe Lara. 0 for 3 on the day. But there's another run. Deep into the corner. That's an easy double. We'll see. 2 runs? Absolutely. 2 runs score. Mendoza makes it home as well. Whew. All right. 2-run double out of Felipe Lara, coming up big in a big moment. And Victor Pena, 2 strikeouts, and then also allowed 2 runs. Not exactly what you want out of the bullpen. And here's Bobby Collier. Always dangerous. 1-0 pitch. That's going to drop for a base hit. Score another run. Another RBI for Collier. RBI base hit, and we go to yet another pitcher. It's Jesse Stallman, the lefty, to face Wei-Kong Zhu. With a runner at first and 2 out. 2-2 pitch, and that's drilled up right up the middle. Oh, and some aggressive base running out of Collier. My goodness. I don't even know if he looked up at the base coach. He just fucking ran. He's not that fast, but apparently if you're determined enough, you can grab an extra base here and there. And that puts runner at the corners for Coriano, who's 1 for 2. Coriano is going to drive in a run as well with a single. Zhu knows better than to try to run on Carrillo, and he holds up. And that's runners at first and second. Now a 10-run lead, 10-4 lead for the Dragons. And the crowd is just rocking here. Zenes hits one, and finally they're out of the inning as Cerezo's able to make that play in the gap in left center. But they score 4 runs on 6 hits. They strand 2, but really who cares? 10-4 now for the Dragons going into the top of the 8th. It's Perez, Miller, and Cerezo to face Esteban Soto here. Soto has a strikeout in 2/3 of an inning. Perez hits it hard at Matt George, but he makes the play, and that is 1 down. Now the 0-1 to Paul Miller. Soto deals. Miller hits it one the other way. Woof. Had a chance to get through, but Zenes makes a nice play on it to keep it in play. And here is Cerezo now with 2 down. The 0-1 pitch, and grounder to George. He made it interesting. Took his time, but they get him at first, and the Sausage Dogs go down in order, trailing by 6. It's 4 runs on 7 hits and an error for St. Joseph. 10 runs on 11 hits and no errors for the Dragons. It's Matt George, Johnstone, and Cantu to face Jesse Stallman here. And George gets another base hit. Might be a double, although he's not very fast. Yep, stand-up double. Carrillo takes a little bit of a long time getting the ball in, and that's enough for George to make it to second with a leadoff double off of Jesse Stallman. And here is Zachary Johnstone striking out again. Oof. Just not his day. It's a 101-mile-an-hour fastball at the knees. Doesn't even get the bat off the shoulder, and it's David Cantu now, the DH. 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs today. Got a chance here with a runner at second. Nope. Grounds out to short. Barber makes the play. Looks George back to the base, and 2 down now for Moises Mendoza, who's 1 for 4 on the day. And Mendoza pops it up. Looks like the Jesus has a play on it, and that'll do it. They threaten, but nothing happens. Leave a runner on second. We add another base hit. And after 8, the Dragons lead 10-4. It's not a save situation, so they're going to leave Soto out there. See if he can close it out, save the bullpen for another day. The 1-2 pitch to Tynes, and he struck him out. That's they must not have a backup catcher in St. Joseph because they let Tynes bat against just about anyone. And here's Carrillo, who's apparently going to bat for himself also. I guess that home run earlier earned him a little opportunity. That's more like the Atilio Carrillo we know. Soft ground out to second base. And, yeah, Bill Christensen really needs to get something going here if they're going to come back in this one. 2 down. First pitch to Christensen is absolutely ripped into left field, down in front of Collier for a base hit. Bill Christensen doesn't have any quit in him, but a long way to go here. Oliver Vargas to the plate with 2 down and a runner at first. The 2-2 pitch to Vargas, and he rips one as well. That'll get down for a base hit, and there's runner at first and second now. That's still Mesa could hit a home run here, and they'd still be down by 3. But let's see. A 1-2 to the Jesus. And got a piece of it, but not all of it. On the warning track, Coriano makes the play. And that is it. Los Angeles now a 2-1 lead in the series after the offensive explosion. 10 runs on 12 hits for the Dragons. 4 runs on 9 hits for St. Joseph. They made an error, a costly error in the field. That's the one that broke the game open. Ferdinando Barber mishandling a ball. Could have gotten him out of that 5th inning. Instead, it turns into a 4-run inning, and they never got back into it. All right, we'll see you for Game 4 here in Los Angeles coming up. Y'all have a good night.